Hey, Russell Hotels going live just for a couple minutes. You guys know how I do it. Today is Thursday. That can only mean one thing. It has to be the daily check-in with Russell of Hotels, right? Hey, I did miss yesterday. I got busy doing some stuff. I'm trying to book business around here, right? So I did get busy yesterday. So I was unable. Then I had a doctor's appointment too that I didn't forget about, but I knew I had to do it, right? I had to go. And I'm like, well, I can't do everything, right? I'm trying to get my exercise on, and then had some other stuff to do. Then I had a doctor's appointment. Then I was going to do this live, and I'm like, you know what? Damn it, I can't do everything, right? So I said, you know what? I'll just wait and table it to the next day. And today is that day. All right. So anyway, now that I've gone through all that stuff, thank you guys so much for joining this daily check-in with Russell of Hotels. I just want to make sure that I am live on the platforms I'm supposed to be live on, and I'm doing something a little different. I'm actually outside, so is the weather is kind of cool right now. It's not humid, so I'm like, hopefully it stays this way. I mean, I got lights in front of me. I got lights in back, or the sun in back of me. So I'm like, hopefully I don't start sweating and I have to get off this live, right? But no, it's pleasant right now. Like I said, I'm on my patio and all that stuff, and I don't know. Yeah, what I see in the back of me is a light, and like I don't know if that's good or bad, but I'm going to look on LinkedIn right now, because it's good to check out yourself, right? You got to check out yourself every now and then. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to check out myself to see what I look like. Okay. I mean, you can see me. That's the important thing, right? And I guess, if I could blur out the back, I would. But it's fine, right? As long as you can hear me, I guess that's a good thing. And let me just make sure that I am on Instagram like I'm supposed to be. Okay, yeah, there I am. I'm on Instagram as well. So we're live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Okay, so if you're on either one of those platforms, I think TikTok too. If you're on any one of those platforms and you just want to just send a quick little note, just go into the chat and say, "Bing, hey, what's going on? I see you. I see you loud and clear, or I hear you loud and clear, and I see you. You look fine. Okay, go ahead and do that. You can do that. It's all right? It's okay. So once again, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and TikTok. I never really confirmed or verified if I am on TikTok, and no one's ever come on and like send me a message through TikTok. So I'm really not sure, but that's what it's telling me. That's what it's telling me. I'm looking at my screen and it says you're live on TikTok. I'm like, okay, all right, we're good with that. So before I get into anything, you guys know I'm always going to highlight a hotel, and today's no different. But before I get to that, I had a family reunion this weekend, right? So this past weekend, last God, it's been almost a week, right? Friday through Sunday, I had this family reunion, right, which was at the Pacific Palms Hotel, Golf Resort, whatever. And I'm going to show that, right? That's in the city of Industry, right in Southern California, right outside of downtown Los Angeles, maybe about 15 miles, something like that. But 15 miles doesn't mean 15 minutes, okay? Just so you know, it took me literally an hour and probably about 15 minutes, hour and 15 minutes to get from my house to there. And it's only from downtown, like I said, it's about 15 miles or so. But, that's Southern California. That's Friday, traffic. But coming back on Sunday only took me 40 minutes. So there you go. But yeah, so that's the hotel I'm going to highlight today. It's the Pacific Palms. For the most part, everything went well at the reunion. Of course, I planned as far as the hotel and everything. I source out the hotels, and I kind of forgot about the Pacific Palms. Well, anyway, it ended up working out well. Only issue I have is with, I guess, the communication between the golf, because there's golf on property, right? Golf person whoever is in charge of setting up golf tee times and all that stuff, and the hotel, right? You would think that the hotel had more, not necessarily control, but at least they would call on your behalf or represent you on your behalf, like, hey, we have this group that wants to do this. Well, they just give you the number, or we'll call this person, right? Well, that person that they give is not very helpful, is not very nice, is not very hospitable. Okay. So they ended up going, the people that play golf, and I didn't play golf. It was 10 people, I want to say. They ended up going to another golf course in the area, right? They didn't even play there, which, I mean, that was kind of the reason I chose that hotel. is because of the golf was there. It was convenient for the people that wanted to play golf. Well, they end up going somewhere else. I'm like, well, the hotel didn't help them out any. And this was something that was brought up like, hey, do you know the person at the golf? Can you introduce us? Can you, like, hey, we're a group here, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure this ain't the first time this has ever come up, right? But sometimes you deal with stuff and sometimes you can tell that there's a separation. Okay, it's not seamless, and that definitely was not a seamless experience dealing with the golf part and the hotel part. Okay, it's like two different entities, although I'm sure they're probably owned by the same company, but they're maybe not managed by the same company. And I get it, but still, they still have to work together. They still, you have groups that are coming in that want to play golf. You have to hopefully they explain things to other people in the future. And it should be a lot more seamless than it is. Well, like I said, the group ended up going somewhere else, so obviously it wasn't seamless. Okay, so but there you go. But anyway, that's enough on that. But I'm gonna show you the photos. I'm gonna show you will be of the Pacific Palms Hotel, because once again the hotel did a great job. The dinner that we had there, anything that happened at the hotel was great. We had the dinner, we had a what do you call it, a meet and greet. Then we had maybe about 20 to 30 people had breakfast the Sunday morning, and that turned out well. So, for the most part, it was good. Would I go back? Heck yeah, definitely. Would I refer it to other? Yeah, I would. Just not the golf. Okay, just not. I would. Well, I will explain. Like, hey, the golf. If the hotel intervenes and wants to partner with the golf people, then that's fine. But if they're not, then I don't think I would do it again. But as far as the hotel is concerned, everything went well. So thank you so much to the hotel staff for doing a great job. We do appreciate it. So let's see, any comments over there? No comments over there. So quick little. I think I have a shout out, and I did this shout out the other day, but actually saw something posted today, or yeah, I posted this morning for Matt Horahan. He retired from Pasadena CVB. He was a national account manager, sales manager there. And I worked with him, meaning we worked on a group or two together back when he was with LA Tourism. So, he I hold him in high regard. Okay, let's just say that. I hold him up here, up high, right? So no, Matt's a good guy. So and he's retiring. So congratulations, Matt, on your retirement. Thank you for all the help you've given me, and not to mention all the countless people that you've helped in this industry when it comes to your destination, not just Pasadena, but LA when you work with LA as well. So congratulations on retirement. Good luck and best of luck in that next chapter of whatever you're going to do, right? If that's you're just going to sit at home and watch the view all day long, hey, good luck in that. You know what I mean? Hey, just retire and just kick your feet up. I'm not sure what he's doing after it, but that's okay. You don't have to do anything, right? You put in your work, you put in your time, whatever you want to do, you do it, Matt. Okay, so once again, congratulations to Matt, and thank you, Miss Debbie Vale, for posting on your LinkedIn page that there's a retirement for Matt. So that's how, that's why it was fresh in my mind, because I did see that this morning. So, Debbie Vale be all over the place, right? Debbie Vale will post things and I appreciate it. So no, thank you so much, Miss Debbie Vale, for posting that for Matt. So yeah, so thank you again, Matt, and all the best to you. All the best to you. So okay, let's get into the hotel thing before I get into this topic, right? And I'll explain the topic for the day. So okay, Pacific Palms Resort. Once again, we had a family reunion. I don't know why I can't talk today. It's called the Love Family Reunion. Family and friends reunion, right? So Love is the name, is my would be my grandmother's last name. Her maiden name was Love, right? So it's the Love Family Reunion. Hold on one second. I needed to take a swallow, a little drinky poo. So, but yeah, so it was Love. It was a Love Family Reunion. This is like I don't know. I've been involved with this reunion as a plan, like finding the site selection. I've been, I'm in charge of site selection, of course, right? Duh. Even when I was on the hotel side, I was in charge of the site selection for years, since 1992. I believe that's when I got started. So so yeah, so I mean, I can't even count how many places we've been. Um, we do California, but we did Vegas last year. We've done Laughlin, Nevada. We've done Marshall, Texas. So we kind of move around. It depends on where the family is for the most part, and what we want to see. Is it, historical value, all that stuff. That's why we did Marshall, because there was some historical value. We also did Oklahoma City. There was some historical value there as well for the family. So yeah, so we've done a little bit. We've done Blythe, because a lot of people hail from Blythe. My grandmother, that's where I was born, right? My grandmother was in Blythe. And so yeah, so we've been all over California for the most part. Sacramento, Pasadena, Ontario. We did Ontario at least twice. San Diego, we've done twice. So yeah, so and we're looking for something in 28. So we do this every other year, right? So this is 26. So 28 will be the next time we do a family reunion. And for the most part, it's going to be in Southern California. And then we also did in La Quinta, and it was 220 degrees there, and we still did it. Okay. So shout out to La Quinta. We didn't, where did we do it? We did it at the Embassy Suites in La Quinta. That's been some years ago. I can't remember exactly when, but hey, we're always looking to go back to the desert if we can, right? We're looking for those inexpensive rates. So anyway, Pacific Palms Resort, located outside of downtown LA, guest rooms 292, 45,000 square feet of meeting space. And this is outside, like this is outside of their patio. You can have lunch there, breakfast, whatever. Like a pond right there. The pool is located over, and I think I have a video of the pool, but very nice setting. And this was from last week, right? So this is not a stock photo. No, this is a photo I took last week. So just a beautiful setting, right? And it was, it was hot. Don't get me wrong, it was hot. Uh, this is one of the guest rooms. This is a king. So yeah, so I think the next one has a picture of the view, or more of a view. So yeah, so this is more of the view. You can see the mountains. You can see the hillside. And one part, not this part, because this is facing north. But if you're facing west, you can see downtown Los Angeles on a clear day, right? But no, just a very nice hotel. And it sits on top of a hill, right? A lot of people don't even know that it's even there. A lot of people are forgetting. Some people will say, oh, well, it's the best kept secret. Well, that's a problem. When your hotel, let me just give a little bit of advice here. If people are saying your hotel is the best kept secret, that's not a good thing. Don't look at that as, oh, that's a compliment. We're the best kept secret. That's because no one knows who you are. No, you should never be a best kept secret. That means you're not marketing your hotel hard enough if you're the best kept secret. Okay. So just a little, you know, little information there, a little tidbit of information. This is the room that we had the function in. It was set for maybe 100. It was over 100, but this is a narrow room. I mean, it worked for the group, right? But it was maybe 110. Normally we done up to 300. I would say we had maybe about 130 total, but not everyone came to the dinner, right? Maybe I think the dinner was only set for maybe 110. I want to say we guaranteed 110 people, right? So we paid for 110. If they came, I don't know, but that's what we paid for. Okay. There you go. So this is the room. I want to say it's called the CIMA room, CIMA. It used to be a restaurant. Used to be a restaurant that they converted. This is before everyone showed up. Of course, I'm sitting at my table because I like to get places early, right? Unlike most of my family, right? They don't like to show up early, right? I do because I got to take photos and everything, So this is a setting, of course, before the meal got there, and of course, I had the vegan option. Okay, I had to make sure they had a vegan Wellington. Okay, you know how people have, oh, I want a beef Wellington. Oh, the beef Wellington was so good. Well, I had a vegetable Wellington. It had like mushrooms. I want to say portobello mushrooms and maybe some zucchini squash inside of it. So it was quite tasty. It was quite flavorful, and it was well seasoned, right? So and that's what I look for, right? So it wasn't an afterthought, right? So a lot of times you order the vegan option and it's just slapped together and thrown out there. Like, well, no, they put some thought in it into this as well. So I just want to say that. This is kind of a view from the room down to the that pond area, exactly where the patio area where I showed you earlier, where you can have breakfast or lunch or whatever. And this is kind of a video. The next thing is a video to the pool, right? So just kind of, it's kind of I'm walking towards it. Do, 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 do. So yeah, so this is a pool area. So yeah, I didn't go inside of it. I just wanted to get and look at the view from there. Okay, can you beat that right there? Someone's in there playing, right? Someone there splashing around, frolicking around. So yeah, it's a very nice, it's kind of tranquil. See how tropical that looked? I mean, that was kind of cool, right? So yeah, I think I have a comment here. Let me see someone on the chat. Real talk cousin. Yeah, so this is Miss Janie Parrish. It's a cousin of mine. She didn't go to the reunion, she didn't show up, but that's okay, right? But she always shows up on my lives, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the support, Miss Janie. And she's originally from Blythe, B Town. That's where we're from, right? So a lot of us came from Blythe, but we live in Southern California, like LA, Long Beach, those areas there. So yeah, so thank you so much. I do appreciate the comments and keep the comments coming. So what happens is someone makes a comment, I put your comment on the screen in real time. Guess what? The whole world can see it, right? They can see your comments. So there you go. No, thank you so much, Janie. I appreciate you coming on. And I have a little bonus video to show you. And I've showed this one before, but I'm going to show it again. In fact, there's something I need to do here. There's something I need to do. Well, no, can I just make that disappear? No, maybe I can't. Why can't I make that disappear? Daily check-in. I don't know why. Anyway, I'm gonna switch to the next video. Let me go what button? And then I'm gonna go to this. Okay, so this is a bonus, right? So I'm not sure if you guys still hear me because I think the music may be playing, so I'll hold off. It's the Skylink. I'm not sure you guys hear me, but I'm gonna keep talking. It's the Skylink at LAX Airport. The People Mover. A lot of people don't even know it was under construction for like the last several years. I'll just look at that. But yeah, it's been under construction for at least 3-4 years. Now they're testing it to make sure it works, right? Because it's due to open October 6th, 2026 of this year. Right? You can see it right here. Right here to the left. The target date is October 6th. So make sure, I just want to show that so you guys know. So yeah, so that's the Skylink, they call it. It's called the Skylink, right? Skylink or People Mover. And that's at LAX. A lot of people have come in and complained like, it's so much traffic around here. It's so congested. What is going on? Well, that's what they're working on, right? So of course they wanted to make sure this was done by the Olympics 28. So yeah, so it's due to open October 6th, 2026, right? So in a couple months, it's supposed to be open. So right now, what they're doing is testing it. I want to say they're doing it for like 60 consecutive days. They're running it around or running its course from the rental car place. And I guess all the stops along the way is stopping, doors opening, doors closing. I don't know if people are getting on there though, because all the ones I saw they weren't manned, meaning they didn't have anyone in them. So if LA World Airports need someone to just sit in there and just kind of ride it, all day long, 8 hours, hey, I'm your guy. So if you need someone to do that, I'm your guy. So LA World Airports, reach out to Russell of Hotels. Hey, if you need somebody to just sit in there, maybe I can do, you got Wi-Fi in there? If you got Wi-Fi, I'm there, right? No, if you need somebody to just sit in there, a real live dummy to go. If you need somebody, just reach out and I'll be one of the people to do it. But yeah, so it looks good. I mean, from the outside, I just showed the video, right? It looks good. So once again, I want to say 60 consecutive days. They're running it from the rental car place to the stops along the way to the airport terminal, turn back around and go back to the rental car place. So they've been running that. Like I said, I'm not sure where they are in the 60-day process, but I was there. This was last Friday, right? No, that wasn't last Friday. It was probably last Thursday. And I was at a couple hotels, and it was just constantly running. I said, you know what? Let me take a video of this and let me talk about it, because a lot of people don't know, right? People fly into LA, even the people that are, maybe you're just going to pick someone up at LAX, right? Like, oh my God, there's so much congestion. Oh my God, I've heard so many things. Yeah, there is a lot of congestion. And this is supposed to eliminate the congestion. So once the construction is gone, of course, that'll relieve some. But the problem is that all the buses, the transportation, go in and around, right? And it competes with the people that are dropping off and picking people up. So, well, now that they have this, or once this is in place, meaning the Skylink, or whatever they call it, the People Mover, once it's in place, and after October 6th, um, no buses will be allowed in the terminal anymore. This takes the place of the buses, right? So all the rental car places, all the hotel shuttles will not be allowed to go back in the airport. Okay. So everyone gets on that. If you're going to a hotel, it'll drop you off at one central location for the hotels, and that's where your shuttles will be. Now, will that create, some congestion over there? Maybe so, but we're trying to eliminate the congestion from the airport, so that's all right. And then it'll take you to the rental car places as well, and they have a huge rental car place now that's off of, I want to say it's called Concourse Drive, right off of Century Boulevard. If you know where the Westin Hotel is, which is east of LAX, it's near there. It's right before there's a street that goes there, and there's this huge, big ass building that has every rental car place imaginable there. Okay, so I guess that was the whole premise for this whole grand scheme of putting this People Mover in. I mean, I thought it was great, but I think it was like, I don't know, 10 years too late, but that's okay. I mean, you got the Olympics coming, and I think it's good. I mean, we still have to do these things. So good job, LA World Airports. Hopefully that does eliminate the congestion and all that stuff, and it's easy to maneuver. And that's where I want to be on the shuttle, or I mean on the Skylink, because I want to make sure, I want to be on there videotaping and everything, saying, hey, yes, it has eliminated traffic. Yes, it's easy to do. Yes, it's, you just get on and ride, easy to get in, easy to get off, easy to find, easy to navigate. Those are things that people want to know, right? They don't want another problem. They don't want something that's going to, take more time to do. So anyway, I'm talking a little bit too much about the Skylink, like I'm the expert on it. No, I'm not the expert on the Skylink. So, but anyway, let's get to this topic. Is this the future of hospitality sales? Okay, so the other day, I want to say it was Monday. Okay, Monday. Yeah, it was Monday morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, right? I'm up at my desk doing work, 6 o'clock in the morning, right? I'm in California, right? So California time. So I'm up doing my work, and I get this email, right? I get an email from a hotel, the Kimpton Hotel in Miami. Okay. Now, I've never done business with the Kimpton Hotel, but I have done business with hotels in Miami. So obviously I'm on their mailing list, for whatever email list, and that's fine, right? That's not the issue. So I get this thing, hey, Russell, and they're asking, or they're giving me information about, the hotel's been renovated and they have some special deals for groups and all this kind of stuff. We're located here. If you ever need anything, let us know. So I responded back like I normally do. Hey, thank you so much for sending me this information. I do appreciate it. At the moment, I don't have anything for Miami, but if anything changes, which it can change at the drop of a hat, I'll reach out and let you know. Okay, like the standard response that I would do to any hotel or any destination. Okay, so that was the Kimpton in Miami, right? So fast forward 2 hours from there. So that was 6 o'clock. No, that was 6 o'clock. 2 hours later, about 8:30, 8:50, somewhere around there, I get an email from a destination. Okay. And it says, hey Russell, kind of the same thing. Hey Russell, and I've sourced this particular destination before. This destination now in California. Okay, so the first email was from Miami. Okay, for a hotel. This second email came from a destination in California, right? Northern California. And I think I've sourced them once or twice or whatever. Okay, that's fine. So I read it, but then I go down to the bottom and it's from the same person that sent me the one from the Kimpton in Miami, right? I'm like, this is odd. Or at least I'm thinking it is odd, right? I never received, I mean, I get these things all the time, these promotional kind of things from people that maybe I know, and sometimes people I don't know, maybe I forgot them, or maybe I met them at conferences or whatever. Um, but I never met this person before, but the name sound familiar, so I remembered it, right? So I'm like, wait a minute. So I get one from this lady, it's both from the same lady, right? One from the Kimpton in Miami at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then at 8:30 or whatever, I get this one from the same lady, but now she's representing a destination in Northern California. So of course, I'm gonna email this person back, right? Did you forget? And now I'm being a smartass, right? Did you? Because I don't know at this point. I don't know if it's a real person or if it's AI. Okay, because we all know AI can do some things, and some hotels and destinations will use AI tools to send out emails, which is fine. I get it. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at any of this stuff. I'm just reporting, right? I'm just letting you know, right? So I get this. So I send an email back to this person to think this is just AI, and they're not going to respond back to me, right? And I say something smart, alecky, and I say, "Did you forget you just sent me something and you were representing the Kimpton Hotel in Miami?" Something to that effect. And I'm sitting there waiting for the response to come back. Well, it didn't come back. Well, it came back in about an hour and a half. About an hour and a half later, I get this response, and she says, "Same person, right? Good catch." She said, "Good catch. Um, I I own a sales consulting firm, and I represent hotels and destinations. This is the first time. This is all in the email. This is the first time I made this mistake and sent it to the same person on the same day. So my apologies. And if there's anything I can do, if you have any questions about this, please feel free to give me a call." Right. So she gave me her number and all that stuff. And I like I said, I wasn't mad at the thing. It was just it caught me off guard. I'm like, is this what we're doing now? So the topic for today is this the future of hospitality sales? Where we are, and I'm sure people use this all the time. You may use people, maybe they don't have a big enough sales team, or maybe salespeople are actually selling and they don't have time to do emails or whatever. So when I got this, it kind of threw me back, right? I'm like, wow, this is interesting. But once again, I thought it was AI. I'm like, okay, I can't be mad at them for doing AI, but then I'm wondering, um, are they going to respond to the email? And they did respond, right? So the person, it is a live person. So I know it is a live person. I actually looked up her name. She does have a LinkedIn page and all that stuff too. So I'm like, okay, this is good. But it made me think, okay, that's a topic, right? So all the topics I come up with are based on my experiences, right? And this is an experience that maybe some people have received these things, maybe they haven't. But when I see things that are kind of topic worthy, newsworthy, I'm gonna talk about them because that's what Russell of Hotels does. Because sometimes it can, you know, is there a better way to do it? Should we be doing this? And I'm not taking a stance on this either way, but of course, I'm gonna come up with, you know, is this the future of hospitality? And I got 3 points I want to make. Okay, so I'm gonna get into those 3 points, right? So bear with me for a second. I want to share something that happened to me currently, which I just did. Within a couple hours, I received 2 emails from the same hospitality sales professional. One email represented a boutique hotel in Miami, the other represented a destination marketing organization in Northern California. I'll be honest, my first thought was, is this AI generated? And I said this, but I'm just reading. This is something I read that I wrote for myself. I got to have talking points, right? When you're doing one of these shows, you got to have some talking points, all right? Think about it. Why would the same person send me 2 different emails representing two different hospitality organizations just a couple hours apart. Naturally, it made me pause and wonder what was going on. That's me. Okay. What was going on? Right. As it turned out, it wasn't AI at all. I replied to her email, and she responded almost immediately. Not almost immediately, about an hour. Okay. She explained that she was a sales consultant representing multiple hospitality brands, apologized for the confusion, and mentioned that this was a very rare situation that that she got found out, right? Or that someone actually sent her an email. But it got me thinking, right? Of course, like I said, this is how these topics come up because of stuff that happens to me, right? Um, is this a sign of things to come in hospitality sales? As more hotels, resorts, and CVBs, that means convention and visitors bureaus, look for creative ways to expand their sales efforts, are we entering an era where one person represents multiple hospitality brands? And a lot of this stuff is happening already. So I always use examples of like an Al High, how they represent other hotels. Al High is a separate entity, right? But they represent like luxury resorts, hotels, or whatever worldwide, right? So it can be a situation like that, right? Where multiple this company is representing all these other hotels because their salespeople, maybe it expands their sales force, okay, which is a great strategic thing to do, right? Great strategy. Okay. So, but anyway, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So, let's see. Number one. I got a number one somewhere here. I got a number one somewhere. And feel free to make comments as I'm doing this, okay? Because it's all about the comments, all about the engagement. Who doesn't love engagement? I do, right? And I'm on one today. Don't can you feel the energy? I don't know. Maybe you can. But okay. So number one, hospitality sales is changing. Okay, I just said that, right? The hospitality industry continues to evolve. We're seeing more independent sales consultants representing multiple hotels, resorts, and destination organizations. For many companies, it's a smart business model. They gain experienced sales representation without adding a full-time person, right? You ain't got to pay no benefits, right? You just pay that person or that company and keep it moving. I believe we will continue to see more of this as our industry evolves. You know what? Yes, as the industry evolves, we will continue to see more of this. It may be happening a lot longer than of course, this is the first time it's happened to me, right? Where it made me think, right? And I'm seeing this firsthand, right? Because it happened to me. Now, some people can go through some other planners or whatever hotel site selection people can go through their whole careers and not see that, right? And not pick up like this is the same person and this is two different organizations. One is on one side of the country, one's on the other side of the country. One's a DMO, one's a hotel. Okay. But same person. And they each have this is the thing that really got me. They each had their own email addresses. So maybe it funnels into one big thing, right? But they had one for the Kempton, and this person had one for the destination in Northern California. So it wasn't like it was just one for her company or organization. That was pretty seamless, right? Where you would think that she represents that. But I want to know if I was to say, yes, I am interested, would she take that ball and run with it? Would I send her the RFP? Would she respond to that? Would she send out the contract? Those are the things that I want to know, right? Because I'm trying to build this relationship with someone, right? That's what we do, right? We're salespeople. Well, I used to be a salesperson, right? But we're what am I trying to say? What the hell am I? I'm a hotel site selection person, right? And a planner or whatever. And I want to build a relationship. Is that relationship built with that person or not? Or do I get turned over to someone else? That would be my biggest, I guess, concern. And because this is the thing, we go, and this happens all the time. So I go to these conferences, right? And I meet with somebody. I have these one-on-one appointments. Like I got 15 minutes to talk to this person, right? And then I'm, in the midst of me, explaining everything, like, oh, I don't handle, just so you know, I wouldn't handle your market or your, request. Joe Smith does. But I'm meeting with Sarah, right? I'm meeting with Sarah White, but Joe Smith is the one to handle. Well, then why is Joe Smith here? That's the thing that gets me. I'm trying to build this relationship, and I'm building it at least a 15-minute relationship, right? The one-on-one appointment. But now all of a sudden she's telling me that, well, Joe Smith is the one actually. I'll make sure I send an email to. Well, that relationship is gone, right? Now all of a sudden, Joe Smith, you're gonna email Joe Smith when I just spent 15 minutes with you. It's kind of the same thing, right? So I don't know if this person does everything from soup to nuts, from start to finish. I don't know how that works, right? And I didn't ask, right? So anyway, so that was the first point. Did I finish that first one? For many companies, it's a smart business model. They gain experience, sales representation without adding a full-time person. And I said, I'll believe we'll see more of this as the industry evolves. Okay, so number two, clarify is everything. Clarity, not clarify. Clarity is everything. Here's what my experience taught me. The issue wasn't that one person represents multiple organizations. The issue was that as the recipient, it created confusion. That's what it did for me. It created a sense of confusion. Like, what the hell is going on here, people? If you're representing multiple brands, your communication has to make it crystal clear who you're representing at that moment. Your email, signature, your LinkedIn profile, your messaging, everything should immediately answer the question. Okay. That's what it should do, right? So when I look at, I looked at LinkedIn, it said that, she's a sales consultant, whatever. Okay. But does that mean because at the end of the day, am I creating a relationship with her, or is she going to turn it over to someone else? Okay. I don't know that for a fact. I did confirm that the emails, the signature were based on that particular organization. So if she sent me an email and it was representing the Kempton, she had an email for that, and the same for the destination. So that stuff was on point, which is cool, right? But the other stuff, like, who am I going to work with? Am I going to continuously work with her, or is she going to turn it over once I say, hey, I do have something for you? I'm going to send you an RFP. Oh, don't send it to me. Send it to Joe Smith, okay? Because he's the one that's going to handle it. Well, damn it, then why are you emailing me then? But anyway, just remember, who are you representing and how can you help me? Clarity builds confidence, and confidence builds trust. Can I trust this? Can I trust this process? Can I trust that this information I'm giving you is going to get to the right people? I don't know. Are you going to handle it? Is it building a relationship? I mean, those are things that, we think about as potential partners. Remember, we always we throw around that partnership word like, it's gold. Like, oh, we're trying to form a partnership. Well, okay, but am I going to form a partnership with this person that sent me this email? It says sales manager or something on there. So I don't know. I don't know. So that's the thing that you need to clear. I need some clarity on that. Okay, number 3, and we only have 3, right? Communication can turn confusion into confidence. What impressed me most wasn't the confusion. It was how quickly she responded. Okay. She did respond because I was confused at first. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. A lot of things are going through my mind, a lot of emotions or whatever. I was like, oh my God, what is going on here? But then again, she called me. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, she didn't call me. She responded to my email. She responded quickly to the email. She explained the situation, apologized, and answered my question. And also gave me like, hey, if you have any other questions, here's my number. Give me a call. All right. Give me a call. And I'm like, okay. That simple act of communication changed my perspective immediately. It reminded me that misunderstandings happen, but how we respond often leaves the lasting impression. So regardless, I have a great impression of her as a business owner, and the hotel as well as the destination for, knowing that this is what they needed to do. Okay, we're going to put this in motion. We're going to make it happen, because a lot of hotels would not have taken this chance to do this. They just let it go, right? Like, you know what, we'll get to it when we get to it. But no, I have to applaud her organization as well as the organizations that she represents. So once again, this was not a criticism at all. It was just something that had never happened to me, and I wanted to explain, because I know it, and it may never happen to anyone else, right? But I know they've received the emails, but do you get the same? Do you get an email from the same person representing a different, entity? Now, if it was multiple hotels, that's one thing, but it was a hotel and a destination. That's odd. That's confusing. Okay, so and don't tell me that it's not. Okay, don't out there tell me that it's not, because, like I said, if it was a hotel, then yeah, we got national salespeople that handle multiple properties everywhere, all over the world, right? So in their portfolio, but to handle, how many people do you know handle? Oh, we handle a hotel in Miami, and I do a destination over in Northern California. No, that does not happen. Okay, so because I know someone out there like, Russell, he didn't know what you're talking about. He's so disconnected. No, I'm not. Damn it. So anyway, in closing, this episode isn't about criticizing someone or saying this business model is right or wrong. In fact, I think we're going to see more independent sales professionals representing multiple hospitality brands. The real takeaway is this. Excuse me. As our industry changes, our communication has to become even more clearer. Whether you represent one hotel or 10 different hospitality organizations, your client should never have to wonder who you're representing. Because in hospitality, clarity creates credibility. Credibility creates trust. Okay. And trust is what ultimately creates business. Okay. So I love to hear your thoughts about this. Excuse me. I'm getting choked up. So yeah, I love to hear your thoughts about it. So anyone that's out there, I mean, not right now. I mean, you can make the comments later. This will be on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook forever, Instagram. Well, not Instagram forever, but the three I just mentioned, it will be there forever. So just make sure you make your comments, because I'm just curious to know, has this ever happened to you before? Do you understand it? It's clarity, clarity creates credibility. Credibility creates trust. Do you believe those things? I don't know if you do or not, but just let me know. And anyway, I see something. That's how it should go. Complete communication should go. Yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate those comments, Miss Janie Parrish. Yes, you're absolutely right. So yes, all about the communication, right? So just be consistent with the communication. Let us know up front what's going on and keep it moving, right? Like I said, I think it's a great business model. It's just that we need some clarity. Okay, some clarity. That's all you need, right? A little clarity goes a long way. I don't know why I got to turn everything into a song, but that's just me. So I think that's about it. Um, I have, check this out. Okay, so I'm working on, as a hotel site selection person or company organization, work with a lot of hotels and clients, right? So I have this one group that's a new client of mine, and I send out RFPs. I send these are 3 hotels, and I'll just tell you the area. 3 hotels in Hollywood. Okay, so this client was kind of all over the place where they wanted, hotels and something, basically the greater LA area. And then all of a sudden Hollywood became an option. I'm like, you never said that before. You're all over the place. You never said that before. So I said, okay, I know, the 3 hotels in Hollywood that maybe this would work at, right? So I redid the RFP and sent it to these 3 hotels yesterday. So I got responses almost immediately, right? Like, which is great, right? And this is the thing that just blows me away. Excuse me. 2 of the 3 called me. 2 of the 3 people that received this RFP called me because they had other questions, which is great. I love that, right? picking up the phone is a lost art. I don't know if you guys know that, but picking up the phone is a lost art. A lot of people don't do it, right? They rather just email you, blah, blah, blah. No, these two individuals, sales managers, called me and said, hey, I have a couple questions about this group. I mean, we love the group. We just sent over the rate, blah, blah, blah. And one of them already sent over the rate, want to make sure I got it. And then the other one had just a question before they sent out the proposal, which is fine, right? And they called me on my cell phone. They didn't email me first. They just picked up the phone and called me. And I'm like, who is this? Who is this? And they introduced themselves and we went from there, right? So guess what? Today, that one phone call or those phone calls from those two people turned into site tours today. Okay, for today. So my client, so once I sent him the proposals and told them how I could receive these phone calls, because see, the client doesn't see all that stuff, and it's up to us sometimes to share how excited that this hotel is to potentially partner with them, right? So both of them called me and they said, hey, yeah, we'd love to have this group, blah, blah, blah. Let me know if we want to do a site tour. Well, today, my client called me and said, hey, we want to do a site tour today at 2:00, 2 and 3 at the two properties in Hollywood. So I called my sales representatives back. They're like, oh my God, this is great. Yeah, I'll make it happen, right? Just have them park, blah, 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 blah. This is great. How's the rate? I mean, do we need to work on some things? I mean, they're asking because they want the business, right? It very seldom happens that you can tell that people want the business. They're excited, they're enthused, they're like rah rah, they're like had cheerleader, the pom poms and all that stuff. And I was like, this is how it should be. Why is it not like that? I always have to, question what goes on now, because this doesn't happen all the time where they're that excited, they're picking up the phone to call, well, yeah, I have something scheduled, but I'll break it, I'll make it happen, right? What time do they want to be there? And that was it was refreshing, right? It was more refreshing than this bottle of water here from Maison Perrier. You see how I threw that in there? But no, it was just refreshing that they were excited. They were excited about it, right? So I mean, it's unfortunate that only one hotel is going to win, right? Only one hotel is going to win the business. But I just appreciate, the enthusiasm, the phone calls, the willing to do whatever it takes to get this piece of business, right? Because for whatever reason, picking up the phone is a lost art, and it should not be. Okay, so I just thought I'd share that with you because that's just what I do, right? I share stuff. So anyway, I think that's about it, but I just want to make sure that I am still over here on LinkedIn. Let me see. And my phone is about to go dead. I don't know what's going on with my phone. It doesn't keep a charge at all. It doesn't keep a charge at all for some reason. So anyway, that is it. You guys have a great day. Today's only Thursday, right? So I got one more day of doing this daily check-in with Russell of Hotels, but I just want to make sure you got this one today. This was a good one, I thought. So, I love when people come. I love when people, watch this live, but that's not the most important thing. I love it when people just watch, okay? If it's on the replay, if it's live, if you make comments, I love the comments because I love the engagement. But if you don't have time to make the comments, that's fine too. But just watch the content. If you have questions or comments that you want to make, feel free to make those questions and comments. I do appreciate it. So anyway, that is it. You guys have a great day. Once again, I'm Russell L. Edmond, but my company is called Russell of Hotels. So I go by the name of Russell of Hotels, right? So any questions at all, feel free to put them in the chat or just make comments on the LinkedIn page. You can go to my website as well. This thing right here, this is called a QR code. Just put your camera phone over that and all my information will pop up. So bing, bing, bing. So yeah, so it's always going to be there because it's all about communication, right? How do I communicate with this Russell guy? And just like, and I'll end it on this, just like this person that we just talked about, this sales consulting person, how they represent multiple properties. I just showed you photos of Pacific Palms, right? Just like I'm showing the photos of these and promoting this hotel. I can do the same thing for your hotel, your destination. Okay. So it's all about the sponsorships, right? So if you're interested in that, reach out to me. Go to, once again, click on my QR code. If you have any questions at all, just click on the QR code right there, and it automatically emails me. If you have questions about what that would entail for your hotel to be highlighted on this show, because once again, I do this show. I do something 5 days a week. Okay. The daily check-in is Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. On air with Russell of Hotels is every Tuesday. Okay, so that's 5 days a week that I'm posting something about a hotel, that I am marketing a hotel for someone. Okay, so why not? Why shouldn't it be you? Why couldn't it be you? It can be you. So there you go. So I just want to throw that out there. Let's see. There's another comment. What did it say? Ha ha ha. You are so right. Pick up the phone. Yeah, people. Yeah, people do not want to pick up the phone. Salespeople don't want to pick up the phone. They want to email you. Oh, I did email them. They didn't respond. Oh, won't you just pick up the phone? It's okay to pick up the phone. So anyway, so thank you, Janie. She says bye. Thank you, Janie. Appreciate that. And then she says, great examples. No, I appreciate that, Janie. Thank you so much. I'm all about utilizing examples and just letting people know that these are things that go on in this world of meetings and whatever. I'm just giving my perspective of certain things. So that is it, right? So what time is it? 51 minutes. Man, I didn't mean to take this long, but hey, sometime it'd be like that. Anyway, that is it. Have a great day. Thank you again for joining. And as